We're here to find the last piece of the map. You don't even have money for another flip, since Greenwood Manor hasn't sold."
"That's not fair to say until we know what price the house is," I said. But he wasn't buying it. I glanced at Billy. At the least, we would go poke around the property later. The Sullivan brothers arrived, completing our group. Jasper and Jake got out and both kissed me on the cheek, just to mess with me in front of Graham.
"Hey!" "Well, you are our girlfriend, right?" Jake said. "You didn't miss us on the road?"
"I wouldn't miss you if you drove faster," I muttered.
"That's all Jasper." "I was doing 80 the whole way. I don't know what you want," Jasper said. "When Helena took a turn behind the wheel of the BMW, she went for it," Graham said. "I'm surprised we didn't get a ticket."
"I just hit 100 for a second on a very empty stretch of highway because I wanted to see how it felt," I said defensively. "My truck doesn't have that sort of mojo, but I got it out of my system."
"It was a pretty sexy thing for my girlfriend to do," Graham said, slipping an arm around my waist.
"What is this girlfriend business? Now you're all just trying to embarrass me."
"I can't let them have a monopoly on you," Graham said. "We'll probably get more competitive and aggressive as the days go on, I imagine, until you won't have any peace at all."
He was speaking right into my ear, his nose pressed into my hair, and this mild threat made me wet. Oh, God. What had I gotten myself into? "Let's get to business," I said, shoving Graham off, not without effort. Graham's BMW, Billy's work truck, and the wolves-at-the-door company van definitely stood out in the quiet neighborhood. I didn't love how close these houses were, considering how our plan was to use the maps to tear down the barriers between the magical worlds. How popular would this plan be with the locals? Probably not very. At least the house was surrounded by some lush gardens. Probably 1.5-acre lots, I figured. The house was 1 story in front, 2 in back, overlooking a hillside view. The house itself was all boxy shapes stacked on each other and large glass windows, typical of mid-century design. "I've never worked on a mid-century modern before," Billy said. "Me neither. But there is a warlock around here who does mid-century design and restores furniture and stuff. Tom Atomic. I watch his videos sometimes, and he's pretty cute and funny."
"Well, we're not taking any advice from him," Jasper said. "Cute and funny? Sounds like a fucking nightmare."
I snorted. Graham was still just looking at me in a seductive way, like the world had stopped for him, except for me, as he pondered my apparently sexy handling of his BMW. Then he ran a hand through his dark hair and fished the house keys from his pocket, striding to the door before stopping at the lock.
"Will there be a demon in this doorknob?"
he asked. "Maybe," I said. "You just have to man up and try it. Don't be scared." He gave me a scathing look that was still plenty sexy, his dark green eyes piercing, and turned the key in the lock. "No demons, but something worse than a demon."
"Excuse me!"
An old man with a withered voice tried his best to yell at us from the street.
"Excuse me!"
We all turned. The old man was bald, but had an impressive mustache. He was hunched and pot-bellied, wearing all black, polo shirt, dress shoes, and slacks. You know he called them slacks. He was wearing a big gold and crystal pendant around his neck like a rapper with bling. I guess this was wizard fashion around here.
"Who are you?"
he demanded of all of us. Graham especially, since he had the keys.
"Sam didn't have any sons, did he? I never heard of it. You look like him, though, come to think of it." "I was a family friend," Graham said. "He left the house to me. Graham Capello."
"Capello? That sounds Italian. Capello. Hey,